Okay, in this video lesson, I'm going to walk you through how to take this template of a Google Sheet that we are using for our expectation-based assessment and turn it into a template that you can use for your course. So before you can make your sheet, you need to have your course learning goals all figured out. And we've provided you with a blank copy of a document that looks similar to this, where we have our learning goals pulled out by unit. And we also have our A learning goals, which are the inquiry pieces as part of the course. So these are our SCH3U, so 3U chemistry course learning goals. And I'm going to convert the template that we have used for grade 9 that we have provided to you into a template for grade 11 chemistry. So it's really important that the sheet and your learning goals and your form match up perfectly. Otherwise, it won't work. So the first thing you have to do is just make sure that you have the same number of learning goals on your sheet that you have in your list of learning goals. So for this course, the 3U Chem, I have 6 A learning goals. On my template, I only have 5. So I'm going to come into B1, click in there. I'm going to right click and I'm just going to click insert column. And I'm going to type in that box A6. And we've color coded our learning goals. So then I want A6 to be red. So I'm going to come up here to the paint can and I'm going to click red. Okay. So then I have to go back. I have to count how many learning goals I have in B. My B, I have 12 learning goals. So I have to come back here. It looks like my learning goals, I have 12 green learning goals already. So I don't have to add any columns for that unit. The one thing you might want to do is I have changed the shade of green for overall expectations. So B1, 2, 3, and 4. Those are overall expectation 1. B5 to 8 is overall expectation 2. And B9 to 12 is overall expectation 3. So you might have a different number of learning goals in each unit, for each overall expectation. So you might want to adjust the depths of color that you've used. Oh, sorry. So if I go to my learning goals, I can see that my first 4 are learning goal overall 1, my next 4 are overall 2, and my next 4 are overall 3. So I don't have to do any adjustments for B, but for C, excuse me, I think I do. So for C, I have 10 learning goals. Unit C, those are my blue ones. And that means that I'm going to come over here and I have to adjust by removing 2 columns. So I'm just going to select those 2 columns. I'm going to right click and I'm going to delete. So now I only have 10. And then I'm going to check my colors, my depths of color. So it's 4. And then the next 6 are all 1. So I'm going to keep the 4 and I'm going to select these 6 boxes and I'm going to switch them all to the same color. So the nice thing about using different depths of color or different shades of color is that you can really clearly see if you have assessed each overall expectation or not. So you're just going to go through the same process for all of your learning goals. So I have to go down to the yellow ones now. And for this unit, I have 9 learning goals that are yellow for unit D. The first 2 are 1 overall, and the next 7 are 2nd overall. So I only have 8 here. So I'm going to click in the E1, insert a column. I'm going to name it D9, and then I'm going to change its color to here so it matches. And I'm going to change the depth of all of these ones so they meet my overall. Okay. So you just have to make sure that your learning goals are matching. E goes to 11 and F goes to 9. So I'm going to do that right now. So one problem you might encounter is that you need more columns. So my template actually stopped at E9, so I need to add more. You're just going to right click in and insert column. And I don't know a shortcut around this, so I actually need to add like 10 columns for my F learning goals. So I'm going to pause recording and do that right now. Okay, so once you have a column for every single learning goal of your course on your class sheet right here, you're going to select their learning goals and copy them. So I'm going to start where I've started A1 here. I'm not copying any of these tabs. I'm only starting at G2. I'm just going to run my cursor across all the way to the end of my learning goals. And I'm just going to hit Control C for copy. And I'm going to open the student tab that I have, and I'm going to copy and paste them, or I'm going to paste them over top of the learning goals that I had in here for my other course. And so you might have to adjust the column here for the one that was larger for comments, but now the learning goals on the student tab are reflective of the learning goals that you have in your class tab. So it is so important that everything lines up like this. If they're different, if you have a different number of columns, then your sheet is not going to work for calculating the your students' marks properly. Okay, so this is basically all you need to do right now to get your sheet ready for your form. So in the next lesson or the next video, I will walk you through how to make your form and set it up, and link it to this sheet and make the sheet start calculating students' grades.